My most memorable lesson here. Wow. I think my most memorable lesson, and I don't think it was directly taught, but it's definitely that idea of like YOLO, you only live once, and not to just quote Drake out of nowhere, but it's this idea of you on your first day you write your bucket list. Well, I actually now want to complete my bucket list, or you know, go into that freezing cold water. No, that's not something I would ever do if it wasn't for Draper. So it's this idea of like, there are so many crazy things that you can do with your life and you really only live once. So you gotta grasp the opportunity when you can.
I think one of my favorite stories is when Andy, David, Anwit, and I were diving into the beanbags from all the way across the room. We were sprinting into them, and we were jumping over the trash can, and then I hit the trash can with my foot and got pumpkin innards all over all the beanbags, and we had to clean the beanbags for like 2 hours. That was a good story, but not very fun to do.
I think my favorite experience was probably actually going to the Tesla factory. That I've been a fan of Elon Musk since forever. And it was like it was unreal for me to go inside and see how the cars were made. And being in the factory, I thought to myself, like this is it. Like this is what I want to be able to make in the future. This might sound crazy, but I want to build ships once the whole space exploration movement becomes more. The private market becomes more mainstream. That's like my long-term plan. I want to build ships, and I thought, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna get inspiration from Elon Musk's Tesla factory, and this is how I'm gonna do it. And like all this is gonna be up there, off planet.
Awesome.
I mean, I'd have to say that Survival Week was probably the most incredible, consistent experience. There's so many like smaller moments that happened that were really meaningful. Like all the activities we did with our teams, the egg drop, the scavenger hunt, it was all so incredible. But Survival Week really stands out because we kind of stripped everything else away that we usually have, and we're left to our own devices in a way that I think made us all better people and brought us all together really quickly.
So coming from the Middle East, I honestly had no clue what VCs are, what entrepreneurs are, and that people can actually change the world. And for me to be here and to actually meet people who have done so much change in this world was a very rewarding experience. We learned, thanks to Tim Draper, that everything is possible, that dreams are not just dreams, they're just the first step towards reality. And if you visualize success, you actually attain it. Oh my God, I'm on fire! Hold on, just let me take care of myself. Well, I hate wilderness, I hate nature, I hate bugs, I hate trees, and I hate everything related to nature. But we had to go on this 1 week survival training with the US Special Forces. Oh my God, the things we did were horrible. We had to kill chickens, we had to sleep in the wild, we had to build our own tents, and for me that was not something I wanted to do, but having finished this week, I learned that I am more tough than I thought I was, and that's great.
Probably one of the most memorable moments I had here was whenever Diva woke me up from the middle of my sleep underneath the stars and yelled that there was a huge deer up on the hill. And it was just funny because I was the first one he woke up, and he was freaking out about that. Diva, this is for you.
That when you work, it's important to have fun. If you see Tim, he's always laughing. If he likes it or not, he's laughing. And how he deals with his colleagues and his friends, he's always laughing. And that I learned here, and I had the experience by myself, that fun is so important because you work so hard. So without fun, it's not fun. So you need fun during your work. Yeah.
Favorite moment? Wow, probably just spending time with all of you guys and all the students. Like, just, I remember in the beginning we all bonded so much that one night we went to Attic and there was, 30 or 40 of us all dancing on the dance floor and having just tons of fun. But yeah, I mean, with Gina closed, that was another really special moment when really, 44 people opened up and told us all their secrets and their fears and their phobias and painful things that had happened. That was pretty special. Gina was probably my favorite seminar. I wouldn't even call her a speaker because she was so interactive. But actually the future guy, Bob Johansson, he was amazing. He really has a different perspective on the way to look at life and what's going to happen in the next 10 years. He was the 10-year forecaster. He was great, and so was Naveen Jain, also amazing.
I would say the most special thing is the diversity of people here. So I've met people from Pakistan, India, Sweden, Netherlands, Lebanon, USA, all the states, Canada, Venezuela, and many more countries, which I can't remember. And the thing is, you don't just meet people, you become friends with them. So after this program, I'm going to spend Thanksgiving on one of my friends' houses, and I'm probably going to Netherlands next year to visit one of his other friends, which is really cool.
Favorite experience was definitely during Survival Week. We had to make a boat with my team. It wasn't actually a boat, it was a raft. So two of the people on our team didn't know how to swim, so we had to, two people sit on top of a raft, and the other three people, including myself, just went into the water. We had to push the boat. It was freezingly cold, but the moment when we actually went into the water, it just felt like we were together as a team. It was the best moment. It just felt very fulfilled.
I remember when we were kayaking. I can't swim, but I decided I was going to do it. And we were swimming in the mist, and it was more of a personal experience, and it was very quiet, and we were kayaking in the water, and it was very peaceful. And I'm from a city, I'm from Johannesburg, and in Johannesburg it's very loud. You could hear people talking, and for the first time in my life I felt it was very quiet and I could think. And yeah, that will go on to be something that I remember in my life, yeah.
You can't pick between Survival Week and go-karting and even being thrown in the pool for not waking up on time. All of it is just sort of crazy and sort of amazing.
I think in the second or the third week there was this health and well-being session where every person was expected to come up and talk about their most painful experiences, right? And what I discovered at that point was that every person, it was so humbling that every person came up there and talked about, how they battled cancer, how they'd gone through tremendous personal, physical, emotional pain, right? And they recovered through it. When you're going through life, you tend to think that every person has perfect lives and you're the only person with a lot of painful stories. But when I was there, I saw that every person was battling, these personal battles that we had no idea, So that was a very humbling experience, that every person has their own personal battles to fight. That gives you a new perspective on it.
I would say the speakers, actually, because I'm here I'm a kid that goes to a rock star concert. That's the older rock stars. So, but my rock star is not people who sing. My rock star is engineers and people who start companies. So every time a speaker comes in, I was like, wow, another boss walk into the room and want to teach something. And it's actually super amazing that every speaker that I learned something from, and I share their passion, and their passion just reflects what I always believe, but no one actually can reflect with me when I was in Toronto. And this was every day, you feel like, oh, another one thinks the same as I do. And it really motivates you and encourage you to live up to that standard. Be like, today they give us this opportunity, tomorrow hopefully I'll make it, and I can give back the same to the next generation of kids.